You know, the United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend in his own time. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
And if you can't handle the truth, you might as well cut your TV, cell phone, smart device, whatever it is that you're using to tune into the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. All right, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome back. It's 2025. You all made it in one piece, I see. So congratulations and thank the Lord that we know of made it through. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me on another Thursday. It's the 2nd of January, 2025. Welcome. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. And it's on YouTube, the Ron Kelly Show YouTube channel. Go on over and check it out. YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. And also now I'm on Instagram too. The show doesn't air on Instagram, but you can check me out on Instagram. Ron Kelly Show, and on TikTok, the Ron Kelly Show. So I'm all over the place. You can come see me anytime. Anyway, it's just about a couple minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. I want to thank everybody for joining me and sticking with it, brother. Over the years, I've been doing my thing, and man, I tell you, not to be funny or anything, but the 2025 started off with a real bang, didn't it? And I woke up New Year's Day, and found out that someone had driven an electric Ford pickup truck down the street where folks were celebrating the new year and mowed down a whole bunch of people, 15 dead so far. The death toll is expected to grow. So 15 dead, 30 or so wounded. I mean, man. Life in America, boy, I tell you. Anyway, and then to top that off, someone else, a gentleman, active duty serviceman. An active duty serviceman drives a Tesla Cybertruck, parks it in front of the Trump International Hotel, and blows it up in Las Vegas. See, now you can take a look at these two situations and you can put them together, because for one was an active duty serviceman, the other one was an honorably discharged serviceman. So you got two people from the Army committing these atrocities. And I put it in my build up for the show today. It's January 2nd, 2025, in case you don't know. That is it a coincidence that it was a Tesla Cybertruck? Now, Elon Musk, who's the founder of Tesla, grand monopoly, is a close confidant to Donald Trump, and doesn't have a job, but he's a high-level, high-ranking advisor for Trump. So is it a coincidence that this Tesla Cybertruck was blown up in front of Trump's hotel? We're going to approach that in a little bit, everybody. Just a couple minutes past the hour. So it's incredible that these type of things continue to happen here in the United States of America. You see, but America's a free country, so you couldn't get away with this in like Russia or China, because those countries are communist and they have the right to come in your house and do whatever they want to do. But here in the land of the free and the home of the brave, you need a search warrant. You need probable cause to go in somebody's house. You need probable cause to search somebody, search their car, search their person, because we have a constitution here in America. In that constitution, these are the things that are going to happen in a free society. and I've said this for years, we have a free society and people are free to go wherever they want to go in this country and not necessarily do whatever they want to do, but they are able to go wherever they want to go here in America, you know. And good thing this thing is sensitive. Yeah. So that prevents law enforcement from raining down on somebody who probably may deserve it. You know, I'm not saying get rid of the Constitution now. I'm not crazy, because you're going to Mirandize me. You're not going to run down on me. You're going to obey the Constitution as far as I'm concerned. But because America's a free country, ladies and gentlemen, it makes it difficult. Because even if your gut tells you the person is dead bang guilty, there's nothing you can do about it because you need evidence. And that's what our country is based on. You need evidence. Anyway, everybody, I'm going to talk about that in a little while. You know, I was talking to somebody last night at the cigar bar. And this is, I mean, you know, I get these random thoughts sometime, and every now and then I'll present them to everyone. It's 7 minutes past the hour. And I was talking to a friend last night, and the friend, yeah. So what do you do if you talk to somebody and they spitting on you? Like, what do you do if somebody's spitting on you while you're talking? Yeah, while they're talking, do you A, get up and move? B, A, get up and move? B, tell them? Or C, don't do anything? You talk to somebody and they're spitting on you. So do you A, get up and move, B, tell them, or C, don't do anything? All right, brother, happy New Year. Ronald McCready, my grammar school brother. Ronald McCready, thank you, brother. We got some big things coming up this year right here on the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. And I hope that you guys who have stuck with me, you know, on nonsense over the years, will continue to stick with it, brother, while I try to make this thing happen. You know, I applied for a job. I went to a talk show in Baltimore, talk radio show in Baltimore, and the pay was $23 an hour. That's a lot less than what I make now. You know, so if anybody's wondering why I'm not on network radio, it's because they don't pay anything. So unless you're an ex-actor, ex-boxer, ex-baseball player, ex-football player like Tom Brady, who makes $30 million, makes more than anybody else, and any other analyst, any other play-by-play guy, he makes more than anybody. And I wonder how his Kevin Burkhardt, who's the play-by-play guy, along with Tom Brady, for example. I wonder how he feels, because I know he's not making nowhere near as much money as Tom Brady is. Tom Brady's making $30 million a year, 10-year contract, $300 million. And at the end of this game, they always talk to Tom. They never talk to Kevin. I guess, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so it is not always, you know, this radio game is, like I said, unless you're ex something, it's hard to make money coming in. Anyway, everybody, it's about it's about 10 minutes past the hour, everybody. We're just starting to get into this. It's 7:12. This is the Ron Kelly Talk Radio show. So we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot, not necessarily about people spitting on each other, but we got a lot to talk about. Because this is weird, you know. This is weird. This is strange, because with these two incidents that happened, the one in Las Vegas where a active duty, so this guy is active duty, the one that died in the Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck in Las Vegas in front of the Trump International Hotel. He is a current, he was on leave. He wasn't, what do they call it? He wasn't AWOL, AWOL. He was on leave. So he was in his right mind, I believe, when he rented that Tesla Cybertruck and drove it from Colorado to Las Vegas via New Mexico and blew it up in front of the Trump International Hotel. Now, this is something this is significant. This isn't just a meaningless act. This is significant that this man, an active duty serviceman, somebody who's in the United States Army currently, well, not anymore because he was burned to a crisp when the Tesla Cybertruck blew up. But this is somebody who was an active duty serviceman who rented a Tesla Cybertruck, drove it to Las Vegas via New Mexico, and blew it up. And blew it up with himself inside. So there's some significance here. This isn't just some psychopath. There's some significance here. Just like the gentleman or the man who mowed down the people, and they showed the video of some people in the alleyway. And this one girl, he just missed her. She just got out of the way in time. So you'll be wearing those heels. See, she didn't have on no heels, so she was able to move. If you had those heels, you might have been dead. But this man who was honorably discharged. So we're not talking about some knuckleheads that got kicked out of the Army. One of the guys, special forces. These are not some jugheads. These are guys who serve their country with distinction, and then they turn around and blow stuff up. But there's some significance here because you have two people. You have one, the man who ran down the people in New Orleans was a honorably discharged man who worked in real estate, just a regular guy, not some psychopath who's been in and out of, who's suffering from PTSD and has been in and out of institutions. No, not at all. The man who blew up the Tesla truck was a active duty serviceman. Active duty, meaning he was in the Army right now. He was in the Army now. So is it a coincidence that he picked up a Tesla Cybertruck? I don't think so. Is it a coincidence that he blew the truck up in front of the Trump International Hotel? Now, there's a lot of hotels in Las Vegas, most of you know. There's more hotels in Las Vegas than anywhere else in America for that amount of space, for that acreage. There's more hotels in Las Vegas than anywhere in America, even New York. So is it a coincidence that he parked it in front of the Trump International Hotel? Hell no, it's not a coincidence. That meant something. Trump is on his way in 20 days to becoming the president of the United States once again. And you can't tell me that what they did didn't mean anything. You can't tell me it didn't mean anything. Don't want to hear it. Anyway, everybody, it's just, oh, what am I doing here? Yeah, it's about 15 minutes past the hour. I'm going to take a break in a couple of minutes, but yeah, we'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about the coming Trump. We'll talk more about the coming Trump mess. Because I haven't heard much about him lately, we heard a lot about the people he was picking, the psychopaths that he was picking, the Trump MAGA kook fringe, MAGA Republicans that he was picking to serve in his cabinet. Haven't heard anything from him in a while. So we'll talk about that. And I need to let you know that the views and opinions expressed here are exclusively those of myself and R. Kelly Media Enterprises, LLC, and not those of my advertisers or my support team behind me who controls the Ron Kelly Show. And the Ron Kelly Show is being sponsored in part by American Porterfield Transportation. For 45 years, American Porterfield Transportation has been your number one source to take you to and from your destination. We'll get back to that, after the break. We'll talk about American Porterfield Transportation, the good people better over there. So yeah. Then you had the shooting in Queens. I mean, America is like off the chain. America is off the rails. A 17-year-old gets shot in the stomach on his way home from school, either to or from school. I mean, America's off the chain. America's off the rails. But that Tesla, now the New Orleans incident, I'm not too sure about that, the reasoning behind that. But I do believe that whoever was in that, the active duty serviceman that was in that Tesla Cybertruck was trying to make a statement, because with all the hotels in Las Vegas, there's hundreds of them, he decided to park in front of the Trump International Hotel. And I think that's the only Trump hotel in Las Vegas. And he decided to park in front of that. So an active duty serviceman drives a Tesla Cybertruck, Tesla being the company that Elon Musk founded, Elon Musk being the right-hand man for Trump right now. Elon Musk, who created the Tesla Cybertruck, who owns the company that builds them. He takes a Tesla Cybertruck with all the pickup trucks that he could have took, Ford, Ram, Nissan, many of these companies, Honda, Ridgeline, many of these companies have GMC Sierra. Many of these companies have pickup trucks. Why pick a Tesla Cybertruck that you're going to have to stop and charge up? There was some significance behind that, him picking that Tesla Cybertruck. There was significance behind that. There was a message in there. There was a message in there. And is this going to be the Trump? Thank you so much. Happy New Year's. Lamont Gates. Lamont Gates hosts his own show. It's called NDE. Lamont talks to people who claim to have died and come back, and they're telling their stories. I want to hear that. People who have died, well, they didn't fully die, but they were near death experience. That's Lamont Gates' program. So look for him on Lamont on YouTube, I believe it is, or Facebook. Lamont Gates. Anyway, Happy New Year, Lamont Gates. Happy New Year to Stephanie and all the folks out there in R. Kelly land. Thanks so much for joining me at almost 20 minutes past the hour. Shout out to Arnetta Marshall. Good evening to you, and thank you so much for thank you for listening to me right here on the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. Okay, yeah. So Happy New Year, everybody. Who got drunk? Well, I know I didn't. I don't drink anyway, but I did go out. Stayed near home, and I haven't heard anything about the casualties that I'm sure, unfortunately, that took place New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve is the most dangerous time to be on the roads of the year. The most dangerous time of the year is New Year's Eve. So if you're still in one piece, I'm happy for you. Okay, we'll take a quick break and we'll come right back with this program. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and it's on matter of fact, yeah, it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. Also, we are on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Back in a minute with more of the Ron Kelly Show. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
All right, everybody, we are back. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. Coming to you live on a Thursday night. People are like, why you pick Thursday? Why not? I mean, you know, I've been on Mondays. I've been on Tuesday. I was even on Saturday at one time. I used to do a show with Lamont Gates, by the way. We used to do but nobody wants to work with me. So nobody wants to work with me. So I'm by myself. Dr. Susanna Flores, Reverend Andre McCullum. I mean, you name it, I've worked with everybody. Dr. Susanna Flores, who you see wrote the book. She wrote a book, and we used to prop it. We prop it on the program. So it was Andre McCullum, Mike McDuffie, Cindy Hunt. I can Karen Baker, Maxine Baker. I mean, some people I only worked with for one show. Some people told me they were leaving. Some people just left and didn't tell me nothing. I mean, this has been one hell of a ride here with this talk radio program. So finally I decided, I'm just going to work by myself. Nobody wants to work with me for some reason. So Princess Love Mills. I mean, there's been so many people that have come and gone, but each one of them elevated the show. So I'm not going to hate on them and kick their backs in. Each one of those people elevated to Ron Kelly show. So shout out to Cindy Hunt. Cindy Hunt was my first co-host. And she was the only one that had a good excuse. She left the show because she was pregnant with twins. I mean, and no, I had nothing to do with that, by the way. If anybody's thinking something insanity out there. Anyway, so we had these two incidents, and I think the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl is on right now. I don't know what the score is. As a matter of fact, it might be over because it started at 4:00, I believe. But you can't in this country, you're never going to be able to stop people from doing stuff. You're never going to be able to stop people from doing stuff because we live in a free society in the United States of America, the freest society in the world. We have a Constitution that protects us from illegal search and seizure. We have a Constitution that protects us from overzealous law enforcement people. We have a Constitution that judges have to live by, prosecutors, defense lawyers, police officers. Our Constitution, they all have to live by, And no, do they live by it all the time? No. But we live in a free society. So these things are always, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, these type of things are these type of things are going to happen. There's going to be more school shootings. There's going to be more random violence. Last night, the other night in Queens, people waiting outside of a club, to get in. 2 clowns pull up and start shooting. 10 people wounded. Thankfully, nobody died. They all it's a good thing that both of those clowns were bad shots, but nobody died. But see, these are the things that this is going to happen in this country. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. Like now, it's in some of these instances we just got lucky. Like, I mean, yeah, there are some mechanisms in place, like take, Times Square, New Year's Eve. Nothing that's happened there in a long time. And that would be a golden opportunity for somebody to do something stupid. But I'm not saying that the mechanisms in place and, what NYPD and the FBI, CIA, Secret Service, and all these people, I'm not saying that what they do doesn't work. Because what they do probably does, because they catch stuff and we never find out about it because they don't want to scare the public. So I'm not saying that their preventative measures don't stop things, but there's always going to be somebody who's going to get through. Now, this guy, they had a police car. Now, last night, for example, in New Orleans, they had a police car parked right there, blocking the street, just like they do around here in New Jersey, where the Ron Kelly show originates from. And they had a police car blocking the street. And the guy just went around the police car, So now they're Monday morning quarterbacking, like, what could we have done? Well, how could we have done a better job? The guy just went around the police car and just mowed the people down with a Ford. Now that was random. I think that what he did was random. I don't think there was any significance to what he did, and we'll never find out anyway because the guy is dead. But this active duty serviceman who drove that Tesla Cybertruck, and why a Tesla? Because the Teslas are a pain in the ass because you can't take them nowhere. If you're traveling and you're going 600, 700, 1,000 miles, you're going to have to keep charging the damn thing. So he went out of his way to get a Tesla because there was some significance in that Tesla. So because it's Tesla and Musk and the hotel and Trump. And Trump and Musk have a relationship in the Trump administration that's coming in just a couple weeks. Two about almost 3 weeks. So there's some significance there. We don't know what it is right now, but I think that the active duty guy, the special forces guy, was trying to send a message. Tesla truck, Trump hotel. Boom. There was something to that. What it is, I think it was a message. Is this going to be the Trump administration for the next 4 years? That there's going to be, explosions? That people are going to be blown? And see, and the scariest thing about this is these were, one was ex-military, one was active duty military. So, and Trump always talked about using the military to go after the people that he thinks that did him dirty, Stormy Daniels, the top secret papers he took home, the insurance fraud, tax evasion, all the stuff that they could have charged him with. The 34 sexual, So he was talking about using the army to go after all of these people. But these are two guys from the army. Now, one active duty special forces was on leave, wasn't AWOL, or rather, he didn't run away. He went on leave. He did what he had to do. And then he got that truck, brought it to Trump's hotel and blew it up. And then you have another guy who was honorably discharged. See, because usually the guys, they get, if there's somebody affiliated with the army, they were knuckleheads. They got dishonorable discharge. They were a pain in the ass. Those type of guys who couldn't cut it are usually the ones that do this kind of stuff. But these guys, one honorable discharge. New Orleans, the guy who ran down the people in New Orleans, honorable discharge. The man who blew up the Tesla Cybertruck in front of Trump Tower was active duty special forces. So these are some jokers, you know. These are people who served their country with distinction and honor. They weren't just some jokers, you know. And this is what happened. Okay. Then Marshall says, we all know people are angry and disappointed in our society. And for Donald Trump to go in office has done nothing but put icing on the cake. So what recourse do you have for the next 4 years just to sit back and buckle down and let this man dictate? Well, you see, you make a good point. And the fact of the matter is that, they voted for him. People voted for him. They voted for him. They went they went into the voting booth and they made a conscious decision to vote for Trump. They made a conscious decision. And you see, all those people that voted for Trump, they're gonna pay because he's already backpedaling from all of the crap he sold on the campaign trail. I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix it right away. I'm gonna fix it right away. Then he goes he does a TV interview, and when they ask him about prices, oh well, nothing's guaranteed. But you guaranteed it. Most politicians lie anyway, but Trump is a special liar. But now, I mean, come on. So this is what I'm talking about. The people who voted for Trump, suckers that you are, you're gonna be highly disappointed when Trump starts doing his Project 2025 that he claims he knows nothing about. And if you don't know what Project 2025 is, I mean, there's a whole lot to read, but, I suggest that when you got a few minutes, even if you just do some, crib notes or something, and just take a look at the finer points of it, you'll see what they have in store for us. So the people that voted for Trump are going to get it. The people who voted for Trump, the minorities who voted for Trump are going to get it. And you were foolish and you were suckers for voting for him in the first place. I don't understand it. Now, we know Trump is going to do what he needs to do. Trump is for the rich. And he's rich. So what do you think he's going to do? He already cut the corporate tax by 21%, or 15% rather. It was 36%, now it's 21%. And it's going to go down even further. His mantra was, hey, well, if I cut the corporate tax, the businesses will have more money. The businesses will have more money to hire people. So guess what? During the Trump administration, the businesses didn't hire nobody. They was like, hey, if I can get by with what I got, like with the pandemic and the workforce shrunk because people were dying and getting sick and stuff. And when they gave out that money, a lot of the companies didn't hire nobody. So they were like, hey, if I can get by with I had 800 people, but if I can get by with 400 people, I'm going to keep this money. And then to add insult to injury, the money went overseas. What's up, cuz? Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year, cousin George. Cousin George rides bicycles all over the United States of America and probably some foreign countries too. But I bet you he's in better shape than most of us. Shout out to my cousin George, my real cousin, not just somebody I call cousin. Anyway, 25 minutes before the hour. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. You know, people are texting me too on my phone. But this is what I'm talking about. You know, this is what I'm talking about. You know, you voted for Trump, you voted for a headache. Because already he's backpedaling. All the stuff he said he was going to do. Oh, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, I'm going to do the other. And already he's backpedaling. He's moonwalking back away from those promises. Because he knew he couldn't keep them, but he knew that y'all would be suckers. He knew that, you know, like P.T. Barnum, the great showman, P.T. Barnum and Bailey Circus once said that a sucker is born every minute. And Trump, after he won, he laughed. He laughed. My cousin says he's doing at least 3,000 miles a year. That's from here to California. 80 West. 80 West will get you there in one shot. You don't even have to get off the highway. Might be some mountains and stuff in the way, but I'm sure you can handle it, cuz. So, yeah. So, I mean, wow. It's 36 minutes before the hour. So, wow. Yeah. Yeah, Trump is got y'all. And see, you know, like the black folks was the overseers back in the day. Back in the day. You know, I was watching the Westminster Kennel Dog Show. I'm watching the dog show. I mean, I just looked at it for a second. I mean, it wasn't something that I would normally watch. So I'm watching it, and they're bringing up different hounds, different dogs, beagles, and all kinds of dogs that they spend thousands and thousands of dollars on for food, and those dogs get treated better than some people. So they brought up a dog called the Black and Tan Coon Hound. Black and Tan Coon Hound. I'll talk about that on the other side of this break. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on blogtalkradio.com and RonKellyShow.com. All right, everybody, we are back. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. You see those buildings? You see my name on those buildings? You're going to see that. You're going to see it. You're going to be walking through Times Square one day. You're going to be strolling through Times Square with your peoples, with your girlie or whatever. You're going to say, oh, that crap, that's R. Kelly. Not that R. Kelly, but Ron Kelly radio show on a billboard in Times Square. You're going to see that. I promise you. You're going to see that. It may even be this year. You're going to see that. Okay, everybody, we are back. It's about 20 minutes. It's 19 and a half minutes before the hour. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, broadcasted live on Facebook, LinkedIn, where the jobs are, and YouTube, the Ron Kelly Show channel on YouTube. Now, also, I'm on TikTok. I mean, my show doesn't broadcast on TikTok, but I am on TikTok. You can go over TikTok and give me a holler. Watch some of the videos or the stuff I say that I can't necessarily say on this program. You can catch me in R. Kelly Raw. And that sounds pretty good. R. Kelly Raw on TikTok. You can catch me over there. And also I'm on Instagram, R. Kelly Show. All right, everybody, 19 minutes before the hour. So, yeah, so I got to post a comment here. Where'd my comments go? Oh, okay. My cousin, George Crawford, says this country isn't serious about a president anymore. I still can't understand why the majority of the voters wanted this clown as president, especially the so-called preachers. Well, you know what, Cousin George? I'll tell you like this. People are stupid. People are dumb. See, that's why, like, if you want to make some money, send it to America. We buy everything. Remember the pet rock that Americans would, a pet rock. I mean, give me a break. You know, the pet rock, they sold millions of those rocks. I mean, who would want a rock as a pet? But in America, you can sell it. And they sold them. Millions of them. Pet rock. People were carrying it around like it was a pet. So, you know, America, whatever you want to sell, anything, anywhere around the world, if you want to sell something, bring it here. Bring it here. And Americans will buy it. A pet rock. I mean, you can look back on some of the ridiculous things that have been sold over the years. And one of the craziest things, I think, was the pet rock. So in America, you can sell it and Americans will buy it. And that's what Trump did. He sold it. He sold his BS. He sold his nonsense. I mean, here's a guy who was, I mean, you couldn't even, you remember Howard Dean? Howard Dean was the presidential candidate at one time, Howard Dean. I forget who he was running against. But Howard Dean was the Howard Dean was the presidential candidate. He was the Democratic candidate for president of the United States. And he just finished up a rally. Howard Dean, look him up. Howard Dean just finished up a rally. You know, so he's doing his thing. He's doing his pep talk. We're gonna go to Florida. We're gonna go to Georgia. We're gonna go to New York. We're gonna go to California. Then he goes, oh, something like that. Killed him. And that's all he did. He just screamed this crazy sounding scream and killed his campaign. Killed it. And that's all he did. That's all he did. That's all Howard Dean did. Well, he made that crazy noise. Something like that. Yeehaw, something kind of similar to that. And he was done. His campaign was done. Just for that. One thing. It wasn't his qualifications. It wasn't his background. It wasn't his habits. It wasn't his knowledge. None of that. It was that one crazy scream that killed Howard Dean's campaign. Look him up. I'm sure the video is on YouTube of Howard Dean at the rally. Something like that he did, and the party was over. Just for that. So here you have somebody who incited a riot, who molested a woman, married 3 times, different kids, somebody who, John Edwards, the presidential candidate. Let me walk back a little bit. I talked about Howard Dean with the scream. John Edwards, presidential candidate. Back in the day, a little bit ways back. Found out he's having an affair. Boom, gone. Gone. John Edwards was gone. As soon as everybody found out, look him up. I'll tell the truth here. This is the Ron Kelly Show, and I know what the hell I'm talking about. Look him up. Howard Dean. Campaign gone. Just for that one little thing. Now, it wasn't his background, wasn't his religion, wasn't his habits. He wasn't a cheater. He was a good family man, all of that stuff. But that one thing killed his campaign. John Edwards, presidential candidate, found out he was having an affair. Campaign gone. Gone. Just like that. John Edwards. Look him up. We tell the truth here on the Ron Kelly Show. Look him up. Howard Dean, John Edwards. The two minuscule infractions, gone. Oh, not John Edwards, but cheating is a big thing, but gone. Now here comes Trump, that has committed every crime known to man except murder. And we don't know about that as a certainty. A felon, 34 felony counts, guilty of giving money to a porn star, hush money to keep her quiet until after the election. Guilty of molesting and or raping a woman in the dressing room at Neiman Marcus or someplace. Guilty. Incited a riot. You almost got some Congress people killed. Guilty. Somebody who went home, did not attend the first time. I believe it was the first time. Went home, did not attend Biden's inauguration. And I'm gonna tell you why he went home. He went home before the inauguration because he wanted to fly home as president. He wanted to fly home as president, so that's why he didn't stay for the inauguration. And he was being an asshole too, by the way. But he didn't stay for the inauguration because he didn't want to fly home. You see, because when the president, when Biden flies home, because he'll be allowed to fly home on Air Force One. But see, Air Force One is any plane that the president is on. He could be, parasailing. That parasail is Air Force One. Anything the president is on. So when Biden flies back to Delaware, he won't be flying as the president. And the designation Air Force One won't be designated as Air Force One because the president is not on it. The former president is on it. So Trump wanted to fly home as president, besides being an a-hole and not, showing up. So George Crawford says this country reminds me of a young woman that desire a bad guy instead of a good education. But yeah, exactly. Bad guys cause excitement, but a good guy, educated guy is boring. And see, and that's true to a degree. It's 10 minutes before the hour. That's true to a degree that it's like people, you see, but you got to, things definitely have changed. I agree with that, George. Things have changed. People, you can't say it's about your pocketbook because that was the big, brouhaha that it's about the pocketbook. Trump was going to fix the pocketbook. Trump is going to fix his pocketbook. Trump is going to fix Elon Musk's pocketbook and the Koch brothers and the the wealthy folks, the billionaires, the Musk's. Musk is not married, but yeah, those are the pockets he's gonna fix. He ain't gonna fix your pocket, my dude. You know, working for the town of East Hanover or whatever. He ain't gonna help you. Those of you working at Walmart, he's not gonna help you. Target, Costco, he's not gonna help you. You're still in the same boat. You're still gonna be in the same boat. You're not getting any help. The prices are not going down. If they go down, they'll go down naturally. It won't have anything to do with Trump. So if you fell for the okie doke, for the BS, shame on you. Because Trump is already saying that there's no guarantee. Oh, no? You guaranteed it on the campaign trail. We're going to do it. We're going to do it quick. We're going to do it super quick. We're going to do it fast. We're going to day one. We're going to do it. No, you're not. See, all you voted for Trump, you believe that nonsense, you an idiot. Hey, there's a bridge over the East River I want to sell you. Hit me up on my email. Because you're that dumb to think that Trump is going to do something for you. That's ridiculous. Trump does nothing for no one but himself. I'm telling you. And poor Rudy Giuliani. Look at poor Rudy. I feel sorry for Rudy Giuliani. I really do. I feel sorry for Rudy Giuliani because I don't think that $148 million verdict was fair, especially knowing that he didn't have it. But see, this was happening when you hitch your wagon to Trump. This is what happens. This is what happens. So it happened to Fox News. The $700 million they settled with the voting machines company. $700 million. Almost $800 million that Fox News had to pay Dominion Voting Systems and Smartmatic for the stuff that they said, the stuff that they said that the voting was rigged. Look what happened to Fox News. Hooking up with Trump and wound up losing $775 million hooking up with Trump. Now, granted, if you get locked up, Trump will pardon you. True indeed. Now, that you can depend on. He'll get you out. But what if you don't get locked up? What if you don't get locked up? Like the Fox News, $700 million. Hitching their wagon to Trump. Steve Bannon, jail, hitching his wagon to Trump, jail. And Trump wasn't the president, so he couldn't pardon him. So many others. Rudy Giuliani, hitching his wagon to Trump. Now he's fighting for scraps, the last scraps of his life. And I don't think that was a fair judgment, $150 million. If he had it, that'd be a different story. That's like American greed, when somebody wins a judgment, but this fraudster is in prison and has no money. It's an empty, hollow victory. So I don't know what to tell you. But I feel bad for Rudy Giuliani, and I don't think he should have got that kind of penalty. I don't think he should have. Maybe 10 million, 15 million, 20 million. Okay, that sounds good. Because they're never going to get the 150 million. It's hollow. They're never going to get it. Rudy Giuliani doesn't have $150 million. So don't give me that kind of verdict where the person doesn't have the money. InfoWars, I can't think of his name right now, who said that the Sandy Hook was a hoax. I don't feel sorry for him, but he said Sandy Hook was a hoax. And now hitching his wagon to Trump once again. You hit your wagon in Trump, you get burned. Now, there's a long list of people that have gotten burned hitching their wagon to Trump, Rudy Giuliani included. He's got the worst of it. Lost his apartment. He's trying to hold on to his baseball memorabilia, his car. He looks pitiful. You see him on TV, he looks pitiful. He's old and decrepit. America's mayor. What a spectacular fall. America's mayor. America's mayor. Remember Rudy Giuliani when the Twin Towers went down? He was out there walking around, got dust on him. You know, he was trying to calm the city down. He did a hell of a job. 42nd Street was all porn. I remember when I was 16, 17, we'd go to 42nd Street. It was all porn, peep shows, all kinds of peep shows, porno movies that we sneak into, you know, porn, peep shows. You pay a quarter, put a quarter in the thing, and the chick would start dancing. It was all up and down 42nd Street. Now you don't even see that there. That was Rudy Giuliani when he became mayor. He was the district attorney, the U.S. attorney, rather, for the Southern District of New York. A stellar career. And then he throws it away by hitching his wagon in Trump. Now all of that stuff is forgotten. Hitching his wagon in Trump. Okay, everybody, it's just about 2 minutes before the hour of 8 o'clock. I would really like to thank you all. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you're still here, sticking with the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. And it's just about a minute and a half before the program is over. So thank you guys for participating in Ron Kelly Show. Thank you to the folks on YouTube. Thank you to the folks on LinkedIn, which there's a lot of them. Appreciate that. Facebook, TikTok, the views and the likes are going up tremendously all of a sudden. You know, all praise is due. Shout out to my sponsoring party, Amica and Porterfield. What is this thing doing? Amica and Porterfield Transportation, Amica and Porterfield Transportation since 1980. That's 44 years. When I was around about the time I was born, 1980. I can lie, can I? 1980. 44 years, Amica and Porterfield Transportation has been your source for safe, reliable transportation. See, with Amica and Porterfield Transportation, you're not going to be sitting on the side of the road. You know how you be driving somewhere and you see a bunch of people on the side of the road, bus broke down, they're all out there sweating, bullets, hot, is all outdoors. No, not at all. Because with Amica and Porterfield, when you book your trip or tour with Amica and Porterfield Transportation, you're going to get a safe, reliable, air-conditioned vehicle if it's the summertime, and it's going to have heat if it's the wintertime. And you're going to get to your destination safely. So give them a call, or you can email them, amica.porterfield@verizon.net. That's amica.porterfield@verizon.net. So give them a call, or you can email them. All right, everybody, it's about it's about 20 seconds left, so I want to thank you all for listening, participating with the Ron Kelly Show as usual. We'll be back here next Thursday with another edition of the Ron Kelly Show. Thank you to everybody who participated. Thank you to the YouTube people, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, wherever. Appreciate you all. So we'll see you back here next week for another edition of the Ron Kelly Show. So I like to say that it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And that we may not have it all together, but you know what? Together, everybody, together, we can certainly have it all. Thank you so much.